Glory to Jesus Christ. Today is Friday, April 3rd, the 40th day of the fast. We come to a conclusion of the 40 days, and we read in the Lenten Triodion, having completed the 40 days that bring profit to our soul, we beseech thee in thy love for man. Grant us also to behold the holy week of thy passion, that in it we may glorify thy mighty acts and thine ineffable dispensation for our sakes, singing with one mind, O Lord, glory to thee. And so this 40 days hopefully has been profitable for our souls. We can go back to the very first day of the fast, the very first video that we did. It seems like it was just yesterday, but we'll repeat what we read from Father Alexander on that first day. He wrote, "It is so sad to part with Lent and with the week of Easter. I am always grieved by the closing of the sanctuary gates on the Saturday of St. Thomas, and in general, by the ending of Easter week. They still sing Christ is risen, but everything becomes more difficult, as if the gates of the kingdom of heaven had really closed, those gates which have only just been opened in answer to our prayers and fasting. People plunge themselves once more with a sort of ravenousness into futile, worldly pursuits, and the churches become empty." And he said, it is so sad to part with Lent. And it's an emotion that happens, and it's a reality. But what he'll write for today is kind of a repeat of what he wrote the first time. And it's, again, about a sadness that's there. And what he writes today is, "I bid a sad farewell to the end of Lent. In Lent, how much good is accomplished with greater ease, how much evil loses its power and fades away. What joy there is in observing those who pray, fast, approach the Holy Chalice with devotion. However frequent the disappointments and vexations during confession, however great the number of lazy, indifferent souls blinded by sins and passions, there are yet many who possess a keenly sensitive conscience, who are merciless towards themselves, who love God and thirst for purification. Every confession is also a lesson and spiritual gain for the priest who hears it." And he's speaking very specifically, being a priest. And I can echo that last sentence. Every confession is also a lesson and spiritual gain for me. Because, as I always mention to people, I am guilty of everything that people confess as well. And it's such a gift for me just to be able to hear that people are going to God with a contrite heart, and that God is merciful and forgiving. And what joy it is to be the one who proclaims that to people. And of course, during the fast and throughout the year, as priests, we're always tempted with things that, where are the people? How come they're not here? How come they're not going to confession? Things like that. And we have to be so careful that spirit of sadness doesn't take over, because indeed Christ is risen and all has been accomplished. But this is part of the struggle that we go through life, and in particular coming to an end of a fast, as Father Alexander said twice, that there's a sadness that there. It's so sad to part with Lent. I bid a sad farewell to the end of Lent. And so this is a reality and a real thing that happens. He also mentioned in that quote from today that however frequent the disappointments and vexations, however great the number of lazy, indifferent souls, and soon as I read that, it reminded me of what we will hear on Pascha night from St. John Chrysostom in his catechetical homily. And this is something that we always need to hear at Pascha, because all of us get tempted with, well, where are all these people coming from? I've been here since the beginning. As soon as we say that, again, we can be just like the Pharisee. Look at me, I fast twice a week. I tithe of what I have. I've been here during Lent. Where are you? And that St. John reminds us in his homily that if anyone has labored from the first hour, let him today receive his just reward. And if anyone is come at the third hour, let him with thanksgiving keep the feast. And if anyone is delayed even until the ninth hour, let him draw near, fearing nothing. And if anyone is tarried even until the 11th hour, let him also not be alarmed on account of his tardiness. And so we have to remember this, and that we have to have a sense of joy seeing somebody that we haven't seen for a long time, and thank God that they're there, and that a spirit of sadness does not take us over. And I think that the Lenten Triodian on this particular day, as we're now headed literally towards the tomb of Lazarus, gives us some beautiful words to hear. And it is, Christ is at the door, so be not sad, O Bethany, for he will change your sorrow into joy by raising from the tomb Lazarus, your offspring, who sings his praises. And so I think that those words right there from the Triodian, they're addressed to me, that I shouldn't be sad as we come to the close of the fast. They're addressed to Father Alexander, that he shouldn't be sad, that Christ is at the door, and he will change our sorrow into joy, first by raising Lazarus, and then by rising on the third day himself. And so how personal we can make these words from the Lenten Triodian, but also to be reminded of, as Father Alexander has done all during this fast for us, to show what the realities are, and all the temptations and the struggles that go along with us trying desperately and struggling desperately to keep Christ as the focus. And so now, as we come to the close of these 40 days, our prayer is that we can focus and do our best and to struggle to keep the focus only on Christ, who has done everything for us, that he takes away the sadness, that it's that evil one who's fighting us to be sad and to be frustrated, and to think of all those temptations, even on Pascha night itself, to draw us away from the joy that should be there. So may you have a blessed and productive Holy Week focused on Christ. May it be a joyful Pascha that will continue not only for 40 days, but throughout the year itself. And we thank God for Father Alexander Elchaninoff in his diary, which has helped us so much during this fast. Glory to Jesus Christ.